Dottie says Barrel Racerland is very tiring, and we are up way too early. She said, it's still dark outside. Why are we awake? We've already went and let Spencer get into the warm-up pins, or the little turnout pins that they have here in Buckeye. So he can stretch this morning, and I need to go clean his stall out, but the open starts at 9 this morning, and we entered on site, so we probably won't be in the first 100, but maybe. We don't know for sure, so we need to go find out. Dottie's being very needy. She misses her kids so much. So very much. I ran Spencer last night, and y'all, he worked so good. He worked so good. I don't know how he feels this good after driving that far, and then we ran in Wickenburg. It was not as set up. The ground was so heavy, for him. And I thought, oh, he's going to be kind of sore. I've just done my best to just, get him out and, go and take walks and, ride him and just go walk around for, even if it's just, 20 or 30 minutes. And put him in these little turnout pins. Went for, 30 minutes or so. And it's helped so much. Plus, this is the first trip that I've put him on Previcox. Just a half a tablet of Previcox. And I guess he's eating it because I just drop it in his grain. But I think that's really kind of helped too, just to keep the inflammation and the soreness down from being in the trailer 13 hours and making runs and things. And so standing in a stall, But I've been so impressed with him. I didn't get an exhibition or anything here. I ran him here last year once, and he was half a second faster than he was last year. It's weird because it's a standard, but it feels like a big standard. I don't know why it feels that way. I think it's just a long way to the first barrel, or I don't know, standard to standard. It just feels big. It's very strange. I don't really know how to describe why it feels different. It's not, but it feels like it. He ran a 9, a 17.9, which is not terrible. It's not arena record breaking or anything, but I think there was 200 girls and a 17.28 won it, and ran a 17.9, and I was not disappointed because we don't run on standards back home. He ran on one the day before in Wickenburg. I think it was a standard. And then he might run at one if I go to the ANHA in Waco, which I did not go to this last time. Sometimes a local barrel race will set up a standard. So, he might run on 3 all year and not consistently. So for him to just go in there and run a 17 on a standard here, knowing he doesn't really have the lung power to do that, I've just been so impressed with him doing that. And now that he kind of knows the setup, I think if he feels good today, if he hasn't gotten sore, I think he'll run faster. He runs a little bit conservative the first day when he gets somewhere, still tough, but not confident, and so my trip has gotten a lot better. Also, people started making payments, so I'm not poor. And there's just no stress, financial stress, I think. It was funny because it all happened, on Friday. All of a sudden, I was making money. And Corey got paid on Friday, too. And so it was just oh my gosh, thank goodness that I'm not stressed about that. Because financial stress, just puts so much more pressure on you. And I don't really feel the pressure to win to pay the bills, because I just know that your chances of doing that at jackpots are not great, because just they can't pay every good run. They have to pay several D's down, and then even sometimes you just have to be lucky. So I definitely don't go to jackpots to pay the bills. But I was I am feeling a lot better now that there's some money in the bank. Shorty, what you drink? And we are not wondering what in the heck we're going to do to get home, or like we knew we could get home because Corey is going to get paid and I will spend the husband's money real quick. But you know, like there's some part of me that has just a little bit of pride and doesn't want to. Like I want to do as much for myself as I can. And it's hard because like I knew I had money out there. Like I had invoiced a bunch, you know, but like they have the whole month to pay. So there was no obligation for anybody. Nobody was late paying. Everybody's paid December. It's not like anybody was late or nobody owed me money. It wasn't anything like that. It was just like, crap. It's right after Christmas, right after New Year's. Everyone's probably waiting on the same payday that we're waiting on, you know? And so we knew it was going to be tight, but we came anyway, and we're really happy that we did. And Daddy's going to spend some time with her mama, but I'm ready to go home and see my kids. I get incredibly homesick. It's probably another reason why I can't rodeo, because I can't be away from my family that long. Like, you give me 4 days away from my kids, and I'm like, okay, I've got to get home, like, right now. And even if that means I drive all night long, like, I've got to get there. So I just miss my husband, and I miss my kids so much. And I'm so ready to go home. I am bringing 2 horses back that don't belong to me, that just needed rides back. And so I'll have a little bit more work to do than I did on the way up here when it was just Spencer. But both horses are seasoned and are nice horses, you know, so they're used to the stuff and things. And I shouldn't have any trouble with either of them. So it'd be nice to help somebody out and to get to go myself. Yesterday there was a really bad wreck, and this horse was like tied to a pipe that was on the round pen, and she itched on the round pen or something, and the pipe came off. It's the worst thing I've ever seen. This horse takes off dragging this pipe, and it's like a 6-foot pipe that she like is running 100 miles an hour from the round pen into the barns, and like goes through a couple 4-foot gates with a 6-foot pipe on her. We got her caught in the barn, and it was really like apparent to me. I had seen this injury before with racehorses on the track where they overreach so badly that they actually like their toe grab and the back foot actually like hits their super I don't have my coffee yet, but like the superficial, and just like completely obliterates it. And that's the tendon that's like the really big one that runs behind the knee to like the ankle or the fetlock right there. And it like it's so tight and there's so much pressure, and they hit it going 100 miles an hour, and it just like sliced it. And there was like a puncture where you could tell it hit, like the pipe hit it or something hit it, I don't know. And then it was just like a dent. And I knew as soon as I saw it what it was, because I had seen it on the racetrack. And I didn't know what to do except throw some ice on it, you know, and then like wait for the vet to get there. Like, she could not walk. The only thing like holding that steady, that leg, is like the suspensory and the deep digital and some other things. And so I got to know the lady whose horse it was. I am just so devastated for her. And I just want, you know, you guys to pray for her. That's the only mare she had. She's from Alberta, Canada. She came down here from Alberta. She can't take the mare home. She can't take the mare home because the mare's leg is not going to be stable enough to make the drive. She has to stay here or like leave her here for a couple months, probably 90 days. And I just cannot even imagine what she's going through. You know, I'm not a vet, but I had seen it before, and so I knew what to do. And there's not much you can do, just like try to keep the inflammation out and try to keep the puncture from getting infected, and compression and stall rest. And that's the only horse she has. She doesn't have another one. I'm just so sad for her. So that was interesting. If you guys could pray for her. Like, yesterday was like tough for me because I was so excited for myself, and I finally felt like I could be comfortable here and glad that I came and had a little fun, you know, but then I was so sad for my new friend because I can't even imagine. And it was a horrific wreck. Like, I mean, in all honesty, like, she's lucky that she's alive, you know, and that she didn't kill someone running through the barn. She did hit a couple people with the pipe. And of course, that's nobody's fault. Like, there's nothing anybody could do. It was just a freak deal. Probably never, ever, ever happen again here. But it just happened, you know, and it always happens to, like, the wrong horse. It never happens to the renegade piece of shit. It never happens to those horses, you know. This is a good one. Anyways, and it happened to a good person, and it just sucks. But, you know, I told her, you don't know what you may have been protected from. You know, she may have ran in the arena tomorrow and fell and broke your neck, or broke hers. Like, you don't know, and God doesn't make bad things happen. You know, sometimes shit just happens, but he'll make it right, you know. So hindsight's 2020. We might not know the reason or how he turns it into something great until later, but I'm sad for her, but I also know that there's great things in store. I feel like every time I've had a really bad wreck or something just terrible happen, like, God just made it better. As equally terrible as it was, he made it equally as awesome later. You know, like, I got an equally big blessing. So that rule isn't singular to me. You know, it applies to everybody that loves him. So I really feel like she's going to be rewarded at some point for this terrible thing, or not rewarded, but just paid back, you know, for good. So, you guys would just say a prayer for my Alberta friend. I'm really glad I came. I actually made a couple friends, and that I'm really, really happy that I did. So, anyways, that's in the passenger seat or the couch of the Living Quarters trailer with Courtney, episode 3. I'll let you guys know how I do after my run today.